Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden. I'm so happy that you joined me today. Today is Fabulous Friday's Junk Journal series, and we are going to finish our very first junk journal, and then we're going to start a new one. But first, let's have our shout out to Daisy, Sherry, Marie, Julie, Doreen, Lori, X Waxworks, and Bling Time Baby. I appreciate each and every one of you. So here we are with our journal, the first one that we've made in this series, and I truly apologize for last Friday when my computer abruptly went boop and it just shut off because the storage was full. There's no warning given, it just shuts off. But luckily I had just made and finished this large tag that goes in our journal, and we needed to make a second one, so I just added the components on to the second tag, and there we are. So let's go ahead and let's slip it into our junk journal here. So here it goes, right here. It goes right in there, perfectly fits, and right here. Oh, looks like I need to add a little bit of glue right there. That lace had pulled up just a tiny bit. So let's fix that right now. There we are. As I opened this, I thought, did I add something here? Yes, we have something there. Okay, so I wanted to add a few more things onto this front. It has a beautiful digital on here, but let's jazz it up just a little bit more. I have a little dish here. I have some more of these beautiful appliques right here, lace pieces. It was a whole shirt, so I don't know quite what to call it. But I have a couple more. I have a little bit more of that lace right there, that net I guess it's called. It's not lace, it's net. Actually, I have two pieces I'm going to bring in. I have a label and a faux stamp. I have some bling, and I have some of those little tiny buttons that I have added some thread to and tied them. So let's see what we can come up with. Oh, there's another thing I have. I have these ruffles. These, did we use these in here anywhere? I don't think so. We used this color ruffle. No, I don't think we used these. We used this color in the, well, it doesn't show here. I guess it shows in the inside. On the spine. We use that color on the spine, so it will tie in with everything else that we have used. Excuse me. Let me clear my throat just one moment. Alrighty, hopefully that will help. Now I have two of these, and I do think they're about the same. This one looks a little fatter. Maybe we can put that one up at the down at the bottom and this one up at the top. But first I think I'd like to place a little bit of a ruffle right down here at the bottom. Maybe this whole thing, just like that. I think that would look really nice. So I'm going to add my hot glue, and I'm using hot glue because it's quick, it's easy, and it's really great for making videos. So here we go with our ruffle. Let's just place it right down there just like that. All right, so our ruffle is attached. Now I have another little ruffle, and I was thinking maybe, I don't want to cover up this bud right here, this rose bud. I think, let's see, I think I want it on this side, and I think I want to maybe have it about right there. Do I want to take it all the way around to the other side? That's an option as well. I did not do it on that side because I didn't want to cover up right there, the rose hips right there. So I think not. I think I'm going to actually, because this has been stitched over a couple times, I'm going to see about maybe releasing this pleat right here. Pull out that string and fray this end real quick here. Fray the end. And then let's see what this looks like. And rub out these holes that the machine made. How about this? Yeah, I like that a lot. So I think I'm just going to trim it right here at this pleat. Just give it a trim. So just like that. Okay, so I'm going to add my glue onto here, and I'm just going to lay it down. Just being very brave, just getting it on there. All right, I'm liking that. Now, what did I say? This one was the fatter one. I actually think this one's a bigger one, but it's not as wide. It's not as heavy looking. All right, so I think I'd like to place this here. Now, do I want a little bit of lace underneath it? Yeah, I think that would look nice, and I think I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Maybe something like that. So I need to turn it over because I do think this was the right way and that's the wrong way. I don't know, it's so hard for me to tell. I don't know what is causing my throat to get phlegm in it, but anyway, that's what's happening today. Let's just press that down just like that. Okay, I like that. I think that's looking good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this one going. How about a little bit of net on this one as well? And maybe something like that. Okay, so that goes like this. I'm not sure I like that. Maybe if we put it more like this, and then that doesn't give it quite that same feel. I want these little pieces to be on the bottom, and I think that's the wrong side. I think that's the right side. Oh goodness, I can't really tell. I just can't tell. Oh, we're going to put it this way. All right, so I'm going to add my glue, and I'm just going to add it on like this. So at the same time, I'll glue my net and my flower on. Alrighty, so now we look like this. So I do have those little buttons that I talked about. I was thinking, let's put them in the middle like this, because we have our buttons over here in our dangle. So let's just add our glue and pop it on, push it down, add our glue and pop it on. I'm just looking to see if you can see what I'm doing. It's such a long journal. All right. So there we have that. Now, how about maybe a label? And I'm thinking maybe over here, because I'm still going across like this, so I need to maybe, this is heavy, so I'm thinking, I don't think I like it over here because of this picture right there. So I'm liking it right here, and I don't know if I want two or just one, but possibly, do I like that one better, or do I like this one better? Oh, it's so hard to tell. I do like that. Now let me go ahead and lay some bling here. How about a little bit of bling down here? How does that look? And I've got a couple of pieces of bling here. How about if we put the bling up there? All right, I like that. So let's move this bling so it doesn't fall. Let's go ahead. I'm going to switch to my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to add my art glitter glue. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, it's coming onto my faux stamp. And I think this is My Porch Prince, is where I got this stamp from. And then let's add our bling right there, is what we spoke of. So let's lay it right down right there. Okay, I'm just going to press it down with my scissors, making sure it gets stuck nicely. Then we have two pieces of bling, and let's stick them right there. So two pieces of bling, and right here. I'm just going to press it down with my scissors once again, just like that. And do I want to add any extra buttons? Maybe there's a bigger button here. Maybe a couple of buttons down here. And I don't know if I even need a button there. I could make a couple more buttons down here. Makes it a little heavier down at the bottom, which I like. I think I like just those three. Maybe switch this one out for this one. No, I like this one. So let's go ahead and get those on there. Let's add our glue and add our buttons on, just like that. Just very simple, quick. There we are. Oh my goodness, you guys. Now, to tie it off, to go ahead and put the closure on it, because it's fixing the dangle. It does kind of, you know, stand up a little bit. I took some of that, I think it's called blanket binding. I had bought quite a bit at the thrift store. I found some. And I just sewed where they turn it over on the two sides. I just sewed down with my machine. And I thought that maybe, even though we have the lace, I'm thinking that we could still, I'm sorry you can't see it right now, I'm picking it up trying to put this around. We can, you know, I twisted it. Let's get this so it's not twisted. That's what I was trying not to do when I was doing off camera. Didn't do a very good job. Let's go ahead and tie it. I'm thinking it will be just fine if we tie it like this. So let's see. Let's see if we do like it this way. I'm turning it so that it's going to be on the pretty side. The only thing about having, you know, right and wrong, you want your pretty side to show. Okay, you guys, what do you think? I guess we need to shorten this up just a little bit. That seems a little long, right? So let's go ahead and let's just shorten this up. That, and then maybe let's just cut it from that corner across like that. Okay, so what do we think of this journal that we made together? The first one that we've completed, that didn't lay very flat because I didn't do a very good job of putting that around. But let's go ahead and look through it. So you open it up and you unwrap your closure and we flip through it just like this. That's your first page, and we've got a flip right here. So we have some pages we can journal on. And it sounds really nice. And then in this big pocket, we have another piece of paper, a digital, that's folded that we can journal on. Do you hear my dog again? She's chirping. She must hear me talking because I just went to see her and she's perfectly fine. Alrighty, so there is our inner page with our beautiful lace and our beautiful dangle that we have made together with our buttons and our beads and our light bulb safety pin and all the net lace all the way around. Let's open this up to this page. We have a beautiful piece of ephemera here with some more appliques, and we have two vintage Tim Holtz tags. They just sit in our piece of ephemera nicely right there. And then here starts a small little journal that you can write on. There's some tracing paper, some music paper, and this music paper folds out. And it just really, I just am so thrilled with how this turned out. It folds out this way. So there's big pages folding out, some more tracing paper, coffee dyed paper, digitals, and then we have here, we have an envelope that we have added right here. And let's see, let's get this envelope open. It's a flip down. No, it's an envelope. It's empty. Shall we put something in it, or shall we let whoever gets it put something in it that's special to them? That's a dilemma. Sometimes it's nice to leave them empty. And right here we have a little piece of ephemera that has 3 beautiful tags right here. So let's get those placed back in. Alrighty, some more little appliques, a little pretty bow. Let's open this up on this side. We forgot to open it up on the other side. I need to move this out of the way, didn't we? Because we didn't see the 2 pockets, and we have a nice piece of digital of a vintage letter that goes in the first pocket, and on the inside pocket we have this beautiful, lovely, big tag. I love the tag. And so, where was that? That was over here. We forgot to open that up. I forgot to open it up. And there's this vintage letter. It's a little different, and it slips in here. And then this is the other beautiful large tag. You guys, I'm thrilled with how this turned out. I absolutely loved making this with you, and that I am going to be offering this journal over in my Etsy shop. If anyone's interested, it is over there now. So you can jump over and pick it up if you would like it. All right, so what are we going to make next time, or start this time, the next journal? What is the next journal that we're going to make? Well, I have had lots of suggestions because I've asked you for suggestions and you gave them to me, but the majority was that you would like to see a ring junk journal. So a ring bound junk journal. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and let's look at those rings. So what are those rings, and where do you get them, and on and on. So these are what my rings look like. I purchased them at Walmart in the office supply department. So I suppose you could go to an office supply store, like maybe a Staples or something, or a Walmart, or I don't know, somewhere that carries office supplies. There happens to be 4 large ones and 4 smaller ones. And that's what you're going to need. Now, I don't know if we're going to use 2 of them or 3 of them, or I don't quite know how we're going to do this, but this is what we were talking about. And these rings, now let's go ahead and open this package so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So these rings open up like this. Oh, sure, Cathy. Like this. They open up like this, because you're going to have to be able to open them up to get them through the holes of our journal so your pages can turn, right? So you're going to have to buy the rings with the hinges. They need these little hinges here so that you can open them up and you can add whatever it is. You know, we're going to put a junk journal in there, and then we're going to close the ring back up. I just got my finger caught in there a little bit. Be careful of that. I just pinched my finger. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Office supply department or an office supply store. That's where I found mine. Recently, I just recently picked them up. Okay, so the next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to grab some file folders. This doesn't have a size, but I measured it. It was approximately 9 inches by 12 inches, the folders themselves. I was lucky enough to find a packet at the thrift store. So this is what they look like. They're, I don't know, I think the word is manila, I think. Does that say what size? No, doesn't say what size. Okay, so that's what you're going to need. And you're going to need, I need to move this out of the way. I'm looking at my sheet here that I've written. 6 of them. 6 of them. So that's going to give you 12 pages for 6 of them. We're going to get 2 pages out of a file folder. You're going to want to cut them. So I've already cut one, and I know that's probably hard to see. So let's go ahead and just ink it around so you can see the difference when I lay it on top. You're going to need to cut your 6, and they need to be cut. Now let me look. Cover all to cut size file. 7 inches to 8 inches. So this is 7 inches, and this is 8 inches. 7 by 8. That's what you want. You want to cut them all 7 by 8. So you're going to end up with, you're going to end up with 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this is approximately the size of our journal is going to be. So it's not quite square, but it's close to being square. All right? So then what you'll want to do after you've done that is you'll want to find yourself some kind of box. Now, mine happens to be a food box. You can have any box that you want. You don't want it to be super fat. Mine looks just like that. It's fairly thin. I'm not sure if I can even measure that for you. I do not know if that's measurable. Not really. It's just a smidgen, right, guys? So it's firm, but it's not super thick. It's, you know, it's hard, it's firm. Alrighty, so you want to do that. You want, oh, and you need to cut these, the box. Let me get my notes again. The box is cut to 7.5 by 8.5. So this is 8.5 by, well, this one's a whole lot longer than that. 9. Okay, what did I do here? That's 9.5 by 8.5. So 9.5 by 8.5. So I'm just going to write 9.5 by 8.5. All right, and it's bigger than this because we're going to cut it down more, but it'll just give us some room to work with. Because remember, we've got the rings we got to put on here. It's got to be bigger than our pages because these are going to be our pages. Our pages are going to be much firmer than what we're used to. And so you want to give yourself a little bit of space. You want to give us some leeway. All right, so then what you need to consider is what are we going to cover our pages with? Alrighty, so there's lots of different things that we can cover the pages with. You could cover your pages with, let me get my stuff here, book page. If you don't have digitals, you don't have a printer, but you still want to make this, you could cover them with book pages. You could get yourself some copy paper, and you could coffee dye it, and you could cover it with the coffee dyed book pages. I am not going to coffee dye my file folders because we're going to cover them up, and if we coffee dye these, they're going to make them warp pretty good because it's going to get wet and then it's going to dry. Even if we iron it, it might be a little warpy. So I am not going to put extra water on my file folder. I'm going to add my pages. Plus, we wanted these pages to be firmer. We don't want them to be super flimsy. We're going to be putting lots of ephemera on here, probably front and back on some of our pages. So you could also use digitals. You could go and find some digitals that you like. You could find some music papers that you like. So that sky's the limit there, what you want to put on your pages, but you need to find your whatever it is that you want to place on your pages. You need to locate them, and because we're going to have, 12 pages, you're going to need at least 12 digitals, book pages big enough to cover this, or where you can collage and make it cover. So that's what we need to think about for the next time. You need to think about getting some rings. You need to think about getting some file folders and cutting them down to size. You need to think about getting something to cover your pages with. I know this is a lot, guys, but this is what you're going to have to get together before we can even start. And then you're going to need to find a, where did I put mine? Here it is. Some kind of food box or packing box or something that's firm. This is very firm. Okay, it's not going to give. It's firm. It holds things. And this is 9.5 by 8.5. So it's bigger than what we need, but we're going to be able to work with it. Now, the one more thing that I have that I think we need to do at this point in time is I have this paint right here. Now, this happens to be Apple Barrel brand. It's white. It's a matte acrylic paint. Now, I need to grab really quick my paintbrush, because what I would like y'all to do is to take your paint and put it right onto your box. Oh, that was way too much, Kathy. Put it on your box and just paint your box. So it's not going to totally cover up whatever you have on here. Now, if you don't have a food box and you just have cardboard, and your cardboard looks just like this, and it doesn't have any printing on it, I got the paint on it already, doesn't have any printing on it, then you don't have to do this part, this step. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't have to do this step. But sometimes when, I don't know what we're going to cover this with yet. I don't know if we're going to do fabric maybe, or if we're going to do paper, but sometimes the colors bleed through of the whatever you used for your cardboard. Sometimes it bleeds through, and so to keep that from happening, even though this is we're probably going to be decorating this cover further down the road, at least it's done and it's finished, and it will have time to dry, right guys? So it needs some time to dry before we go on to the next step. Now, I'm sorry guys, so I know a lot of you are saying, Cathy, that's an awful lot, and I can't remember all that. You gave me so much to do. What on earth? How am I supposed to remember this? Do I have to take notes? No, you don't have to take notes, guys. I will list down below this video, and just go to down below the video, and where it says more, just push that word that says more. It's kind of in italics, and it will pull down more of what I have written, and that is where you're going to find the list of the things that you're going to need for this next ring bound junk journal. Oh, you guys, I'm really excited. I hope that you've enjoyed our first junk journal that we made together, and I'm excited to start our second. I hope to see you there, guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.